ACSA earlier held a media briefing on the shortage of jet fuel at OR Tambo. This is as a result of the destruction of railway infrastructure in KwaZulu-Natal as a result of the recent floods. The shortage has resulted in flight cancellations and airlines having to refuel at other airports. Our reporter Glorious Sefako Musi has more from OR Tambo International Airport.
ACSA has just ended a briefing where it briefed the media about the problems of fuel shortage, jet fuel shortage at OR Tambo International Airport. You know, this is the busiest airport in South Africa. The problem came about with the destruction of the railway lines coming from Durban. We saw with the recent floods that we saw in Durban, infrastructure being destroyed. That led to the fuel shortage that we've seen at the OR Tambo International Airport, and that has caused some airlines to cancel their flights. We've seen some airlines also going to refuel at other airports that are operated by the Airports Company of Southern Africa. But for now, to talk more about this, we are joined by Aaron Munetsi of the Airlines Association of Southern Africa, representing members that were impacted by this shortage. Thank you so much for joining us. Just tell us, how have your members, how are they impacted by this shortage of jet fuel?
Thank you very much for having us. First and foremost, as the Airlines Association of Southern Africa, we represent airlines from South Africa and the rest of the Southern Africa Development Community. In total, we have 16 airline members. And all of them operate not only into OR Tambo, some of them operate into Durban, King Shaka, and some of them operate into Cape Town International Airport. Because of the challenges that we faced because of the floods and the impact on the railways, some of our members have had to do what we call tankering. In other words, they will have to operate with a full load of fuel, even if they did not have a full load of passengers and cargo, just to make sure that they ensure themselves they are able to fly out of OR Tambo. The second thing is that most of our airlines actually were not impacted because their suppliers were able to supply them with the fuel that they required. So there was minimal impact on our members.
You've just had a meeting with ACSA and other parties. Can you share with us the solutions that were discussed to try and curb this problem?
So the solutions were very practical. They were short-term, medium-term, and long-term. The short-term solution is very simple. Like you've heard, that already there is a ship that is already docked in Durban, and that fuel by the 19th of May, that fuel will be in Johannesburg at OR Tambo. The Central Energy Fund is also providing for a facility that will make sure that if there are suppliers that do not get enough fuel for themselves, they will then be able to dip into the emergency fuel that is going to be provided by the Central Energy Fund. The medium term is the fixing of the railway network. We have heard that by the 9th of June, the one railway track will be in place, will be fully repaired. That means we'll be able to uplift 50% of the fuel that is in Durban on the railways using a Transnet Freight Railway, and that will be able to provide us with 50%. By October, the remaining railway tracks will be fully refurbished. We'll be able to uplift 100% of the fuel that we require. So that's the immediate term, short term, and long term.